Ready.
This is the first year anniversary of Pod With Me. We are going back to our favorite episodes.
That's right.
Plus, our most bizarre quickies.
Talent you have that nobody knows.
And updates from our past guests.
Hi, this is Mel from My Son Wears Makeup and Paranormal Activity. Congrats to Pod With Me on your 1 year anniversary going strong.
We got a party going on and you're part of it. Together we celebrate the holidays, a new decade, and the first anniversary of your favorite podcast. Get ready, because the pod starts now.
Let's go again. Ready.
Alex, are you ready to pod?
As you are arriving to the house, what are your thoughts?
Oh my God.
I always wanted to look like a woman. You feel goofy that you were dating Goofy.
He started to chuckle like Goofy.
I have sex with other people. I've sort of lost interest in him sexually.
You ever dance next to someone and you're like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. Sometimes they look better.
We don't kick a kid out for not taking out the trash. You take away their Xbox.
Yeah, I'm gay.
You're gay?
My guilty pleasure is to go to a crowded mall and just go and stay for a little while in the little corner and just do a little bit of crotch spotting.
I think she was the kind of really high paid escort.
She was living with my ex-husband at the time. I walked in and she had a black eye.
The famous lesbians. They were like rock stars because they were the only two that you ever even knew.
Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's get a sound check. Ready.
This is Alex J. Aguiar, and you're listening to the first year anniversary of Pod With Me. We begin with...
That's right.
That's right. He's living a double life. And my favorite part of this episode is when I ask him about his first experience with a guy. Check it out.
Ready.
What were you thinking at that moment when it was happening?
Enjoying the moment and feeling really the humanity, the man.
Okay, so when it was all over, then you guys fooled around, whatever happened. Did you feel guilty? Did you feel weird? Did you feel...
Not at all. No, I didn't feel guilty.
Ready.
Girlfriends from the 80s came back to discuss season 2, but they were not too happy with this particular episode, although it made them laugh.
Ready.
I still can't believe the guy went on a podcast when he's got a wife and kids, and he's like, because the nature and the forest, and that's right, because the men that I meet, I was having a cow, and he is hilarious.
All I know is if Disney wants to redo the Beauty and the Beast, they have Lumiere available.
Oh my goodness.
That's right, Lisa.
That's right.
Ready.
And speaking of girlfriends from the 80s, it's one of the fans' favorites. They discuss the difference between growing up 80s as to now.
Ready.
Well, actually, we didn't have three-way at first. The big thing was call waiting. That was what is now standard in everybody's technology. For us, was groundbreaking. Okay, that was man on the moon stuff. Back then, we didn't even have the school buses. They used to use the station wagon. Sure, like the Brady's.
So your parents had a station wagon?
No. The school would use the station wagons as buses. Yep. Every bus driver hated Emery because she was always doing something. They wanted to drop her off at every curve. Sure did.
Unforgettable aroma of violence that every baby is doused in and baptized in.
Well, basically the Cubans, what they do is they take the kid by the heel and they just dump him in a bottle of violetas. But we don't keep them down too long because, they got to come back up for air. And then they just smell that way for 10 years? Easily.
Easily.
That's about it. That's it. You can smell those little Cubans coming from a mile.
Ready.
And I hope everybody is enjoying the quickies. I do these quickies because they are motivational. Sometimes they're silly and bizarre. Actually, bizarre was this episode when I went to go meet my neighbor. I mean, what was I thinking? The guy could have been, you never know who your neighbor is. And I just walked in there with the microphone. Oh my goodness.
Hi, how are you? I'm your neighbor actually from across the hall. I'm Alex.
I'm Royer.
Hi, Roger. I know you're busy. I see you have workers. You guys just moved in. This, actually, before you ask, it's a podcast. And I would love to take my viewers in a journey of me meeting the neighbor.
That sounds cool. What kind of questions are?
Well, don't worry. I'm not gonna ask you what type of toys you have under your bed. But well, talent you have that nobody knows.
I can sound like a horse.
Really? Show me. Wow. Okay. So that is talent right there. You need to do that for me one more time.
Ready.
Throughout the year, we've asked you to call in for certain episodes to give us your story or ask questions. I do not regret it for one bit.
Guy that I met on Growler that I wound up hooking up with at a bookstore in South Beach. We liked each other and we started seeing each other where I was visiting Miami. I live in New York. It turned out he was from Barcelona, and we started this long distance thing. And I thought it was nice and I thought it was working well. And then eventually I found out that he had another guy in Barcelona, and then he had met another guy in Madrid and had been lying all along. And I fell for it. And the funny and interesting part about it is that he is friends with another couple from Key West who knew part of the story, but not all of it. What's the moral to all of the story? Don't date somebody you in a bookstore.
Hi, Alexis. This is Mercy. I have a question that I wanted to ask you. Can you give me the lotto numbers for this Saturday? Thanks. Bye.
Hi, Mercy. It's Alexis. It's great that you called in. Are there any big changes? Yes. The number one change is this. You're not going to win the lotto. The second change is we can't give you the lotto numbers. And if I did know the lotto numbers, chances are I wouldn't tell anybody about them.
Ready.
One of the many reasons why I do Pod With Me is to help guests that come on the show tell their story because it is therapeutic, and in the hopes that a listener can resonate with their story and learn something from it. Here are the most motivational top pods that really made a difference.
I always wanted to look like a woman, and that was in my mind the whole time.
What age was it that you actually confirmed that you felt like this? 100%.
I mean, I want to say about 10 years old or 10 or 9 years old. Okay. Like I felt like that. In the time where I was graduating middle school and, going into high school, that's where everything started changing rapidly. So everybody found out at the same time. I made sure of that.
And they took care of you. They were fine with it later. Like, they were going through it, but at the same time, they were careful with you.
Well, no, not my brother. My brother now, it's kind of like I gave him tough love because I actually had to teach my brother how to respect me and how to love me as a transgender woman. Now he is getting used to the idea of actually having a sister.
So when you wanted to take hormones, before you did that and finding your doctor, what were your...
Well, actually, no. It wasn't a doctor. I actually didn't start taking hormones the legal way. Which a lot of us transgender women do. We don't take hormones the legal way when we first started.
How does that work? How do you get it, and what is that process like?
I want to say about a year after, I started getting into the club illegally, like most of us. I met a few transgender girls, and they introduced me to the hormone. The hormone that I started taking when I was at that age, it was Perluta. It's actually a Mexican. I don't know if it's a birth control or it's to produce estrogen or something like that. And
how did you feel when you first started taking them? Were you nervous? Were you scared?
Definitely scared. It does change your mentality. Your body starts. You start seeing transformation.
What were the first things you saw?
Once again, I can only speak from my experience. I felt like my breast was burning. Like if you literally was holding a lighter on my nipples.
Wow.
Yes.
And this is, it takes a lot of courage to take pills that someone just gives you. And without even a doctor or feeling safe in that sense. You were just not thinking at that time, at that age, of all that.
Honestly, you're not thinking about any precautions at that time. You just my mentality, and that's why I wanted to share my story with you know, with other transgender girls. So if they are listening to this,
What's going on?
Well, I mean,
You're freaking me out.
Yeah.
What happened?
Look, I think I'm gay. Actually, I'm gay.
You're gay?
Yep.
Like gay as in you like dudes?
Yeah. Yes.
We have an update from Jose, who came out on the pod.
Ready.
Hello, Alex. I want to wish you a happy 1-year pod anniversary. I want to thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, I think I would still be in the closet. My brothers love me like so much now that I can be myself. My family accepted me for who I am. All my friends completely embraced me. Literally, I felt like I was missing out. And when I came out to my brother, even though I did it on a public platform, it actually helped me to do it that way. It was great to share my experience with other people, because I know a lot of people are going through the same issues that I was going through. But trust me, once you do it, once you come out, once you show who you really are, everything just gets better. So thank you so much for giving me that platform to do it. I want to wish you the best of success in this new year of your pod and in this new 2020. Send you a huge hug. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
And Hot Child in the City was about the difficulties of moving into a new city and how hard was it to adapt.
You know, the men here just, it's a blessing and a curse, I would say, living in Miami. The men are so beautiful, you know, they have great bodies, just amazing physique. Definitely my type, you know, with the physical attraction, but it's definitely a curse because I just feel like some of the men just have horrible qualities as far as characteristics. Personally, personality is just trash, you know.
Ready.
Chris came on the show. He recently moved into Miami, and he has an update for us.
Ready.
Hey, Alex, it's Chris. I was just calling to give you an update since the last episode. So basically, you know, I'm in a place where I am pretty happy with my life, and I'm pretty happy living in Miami. On my last episode, I was kind of conflicted as far as if I wanted to stay in Miami. And talked about, you know, difficulties with my ex and relationships and things of that nature. But everything's pretty good here. Me and my ex actually have become friends now. We are cordial, and that's something that I'm super thrilled about. It's very nice to be able to talk to him from time to time. And, you know, I'm just finally in a good place where I have friends and I can go out and connect with people. And, you know, I'm thrilled to be able to say Miami is my home now. Job is going great. Life is going great. I have nothing to say anything negative about Miami. I love it here. I'm so thrilled. Just want to wish you happy anniversary, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, man. Have a good one.
And how about Mel from My Son Wears Makeup and Paranormal Activity?
Goes back home with a little bit of, you know, makeup on his eyes, or, you know, we try to wash it off, but I bought a box of Cheerios for him, and when I dropped it off at her house, it had Ellen DeGeneres on it, and she took a Sharpie and drew a wig on her, and she's like, I don't know what this nonsense bringing into my house, you know, and drew a wig on Ellen because she, you know, she's very tough. So Landon is right now, I can tell, just even like a mother's instinct, that, you know, I can't do that because it's going to upset grandma. So he's like, when he's with me, he can be himself. Then when he's with grandma, he's having to hide it. Suddenly, at 6:08 a.m., one starts to shift, and it doesn't shift across the table like it's air moving in it or like a fan. There's no, it's being lifted from the bottom, and the way it's being moved is like, it should have just maybe went off the table, like kind of almost right then. But when all this was going on, the ceiling above where my couch is in the living room had these two extremely dark areas. It almost looks like, you know, like if your ceiling is wet.
She called in and gave us an update on what's going on with her son Landon, and also an update on her paranormal activity in her house.
Congrats to Pod With Me on your 1 year anniversary going strong. Give you an update on Landon. He's doing really well. He's still going through the same phase of, want to experiment and try makeup. So we're still taking that day by day. As far as the paranormal activity in my home, I have seen and experienced a few more things since the show. And that's another thing we're taking day by day. I'm just continuing to do the smudging in the house and try to bring as much positive energy into the home as I can. So happy holidays, and don't forget, don't fall off the pod.
And one of your favorite episodes is The Gift, Part 1 and 2. We also had The Real Deal, a recap of Part 1 and 2 that prepared us for our live show. Here's a little recap of it all.
Well, I am a psychic, also media, and I've been psychic since the age of 4. I had surgery, and when I came back from the surgery, I flatlined, and I came back with seizures and this gift, and I've been doing this ever since. I thought I was weird. I thought that I was like some kind of a mutant or something, or there was something wrong with me, so I myself tried to stop myself from guessing, but it didn't work. Well, I left my house. I didn't know where to go. I was very young, and I went to a cemetery, and I stayed there. I'm looking at myself now and reflecting. I see a whole different side of life and this world that I didn't even know existed.
Okay, so Alexis just heard your message, and she needs a little bit more.
Okay.
She needs a little bit more information. When were you born?
11/14/67.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1, you have to totally let go of the past. This is what I'm going to tell you. You're physically, I see you as a beautiful woman, but you have to believe and know that you're one. When it comes to relationship, I think that you don't let yourself be. You have to try to play the dumb blonde because you don't allow people or men to do things for you.
Ready.
Hi, this is Alexis Reyes, Miami's best sidekick. I would like to wish Pod With Me a very, very happy anniversary birthday and the best to come next year. Wishing you very much of everything that you deserve and even more. You're doing something amazing. What I do foresee in the future is that this is going to continue to go on, grow, and be something that everybody's going to know about. You have an amazing show. I love you, and I just want to continue to send in good vibes and good positive energy towards your way so this can continue forever and ever and ever. I love Pod With Me, and thank you for having me on it. It was a pleasure to be there. It was an honor for me to be there. Bye.
Ready.
It's the first year anniversary of Pod With Me, and a year ago I never thought I would do a podcast, and I'm so happy I've been able to do it because throughout all these interviews, we've helped our guests and people out there listening relate to these stories or motivate them, which is amazing. We have already reached 10,000 listeners, and I cannot thank you enough for listening. And I want to wish everybody a happy holidays and a happy new year. Get ready because the pod's going to have amazing episodes this 2020. I cannot wait for you to listen to them. We're going to wrap things up with a special motivational message from Rita, one of our past guests. Thank you, and don't fall off the pod.
You were meant for great big things, and just find someone to support you, to remove anything that's getting in the way, because you are meant to be living that life and that purpose, and everybody has a purpose. And I know that sometimes it seems dark, or it seems like you don't, and it seems just like your life is passing you by, but commit to finding someone that can support you to really discover what you're made of. Because people, when you leave this earth, there should be a problem that should no longer exist because you were meant to fix it in one way or another. So you don't want to cheat us of your brilliance.
For more on Pod With Me, you can go to alexjaguiar.com. Thanks for listening, and don't fall off the pod.
Ready.